Welcome back to Village in Motion this Thursday, November 14th. I'm Clint Lambert. I have the pleasure of hosting two of our wonderful employees that are managers here with us in Green Spring. And the very first one is Christine, who is the Home Care Administrator.
Hi.
Glad to have you with us. And also Loyce, Colloway, who is an Assistant Administrator.
Yes, sir.
And I have never heard those titles before. What are you guys doing?
So we have two departments in independent living that are for healthcare purposes. One is home health, one is home support. Usually, a home health agency outside the gates would have an administrator, and a home support or private duty agency would have an administrator, business person basically. And then they usually have clinical managers, people that handle the clinical staff. So we have the same thing here. We've just combined the role because we're not, covering 3 counties. We're covering Green Spring. So
It seems like 3 counties.
Sometimes on really cold days when you're walking, it does. The home care administrator is basically the marketing, business, financial coverage for both home health and home support. Manages the clinical and assistant managers in both business lines. So based on our size, we're a bigger community. We have a larger number of clients. We are also privileged to add the role of an assistant administrator, which is something I've been hearing about since I started 18 months ago, but we've finally been able to put into play. And Loyce applied for and was given the position of our home care assistant administrator. So her role is more focused on the home support side right now, learning the business, the finances, helping me come up with great campaigns and ways to promote the business. So she's going to be focused on that, learning from our manager, sitting with our schedulers, learning what they do and how they do it, so that when someone calls, she can jump into almost any role and help out and problem solve. And then over time, she'll learn the home health business, which is much more heavily regulated by the government and payments and finances. So we'll get there once she's mastered the home support side, which is admittedly a lot easier to master.
So somewhere next summer we'll see.
Honestly, probably. Home support is pretty much a lot more straightforward. Gary Lebecki, our biller, kind of holds the key to most of that. It's how is it paid for? So he kind of is the key to all of it, and the learning of who's paying for what and when and how. So yeah, she's going to be working alongside myself and Emma Hansen, our assistant manager, over the next several months really, to learn the business and help us grow it.
Wonderful. And Loyce was in Pastoral Ministries, right?
For 6.5 years.
Wow. So it's time for a change.
It's time for a change, but I like the way that someone put it. You're taking ministry into administration. So you go from pastoral care to home care, which I think is a very nice blend.
Yes, and you're doing a lot of praying and everything works out, right?
Absolutely.
It's one of the reasons I'm really glad to have her down there. We all have different personalities. I tend to be a little more high-strung. I know myself well. And she brings a really calming, peaceful vibe with her, which I think is a really nice balance for our office.
And gets along well with everyone.
Oh, yeah. And she knows everybody. She's great for publicity. I can't walk down the hall with her without being introduced to 12 new people, which is great because I sit down in Forest View and do all the business stuff all day, and I don't get to see a lot of people in the community sometimes. So walking around with her is a treat.
That's tremendous.
We love our residents.
Very obvious, very obvious. Are you still going to be involved with BCT, Loyce?
Yes, we're working out exactly how that is going to be, but I still will be involved because I think it speaks a lot to culture and engagement. So whatever I can do to support in the community, I want to be able to do that.
Tremendous, very, very good. With your role, with your new role, and you're learning it, when did you actually move into the role?
Monday, on Veterans Day.
Oh, okay.
3 days ago.
Okay, and you've been shot at ever since, right?
I have a shield.
So you are truly just getting your toes wet.
This is day number 4, but it's been good. I've enjoyed meeting people. I've met a lot of the aides, which has been really nice. And of course, over the past 6.5 years, I've seen many of them, in and around campus. So it's been good to actually have more time to talk with them a little bit. So it's been a good process. Good process.
You mentioned the fact of the aides, and there are how many that are associated with?
Oh, well, around somewhere between 140 and 160. I don't have
Wow.
a total number right now, but yeah, we have full-time, part-time,
Right.
and then what we call our flex aides, the ones
Right.
that pick up shifts whenever shifts are
Yeah,
available.
but not anything to do with the outside aides,
No,
unfortunately.
no.
Okay.
We
Are we getting less outside aides? Are we staying like about the same? Do you have any idea?
It's hard to tell now. You know, we look at gate records from security, but they've changed
Right.
the way they record certain things, so it's really hard to tell. And if someone's not with an outside agency, they're just registered as a visitor.
Okay.
And so it's hard to tell. We watch as we walk around the community and you know, communicate about residents that we're concerned about that maybe do have a private aid. Where
Right.
our eyes are always open, but
Absolutely.
it's a really hard number to measure. I was just talking about this with somebody I think on Tuesday. We just don't know.
Yeah. And not only do you not know how many, we don't know who they are, what their experiences are. They haven't been vetted by anyone.
Right, and something that came up the other day was we don't know what their skill level is.
Right.
You know, if you take a fall, is that person trained appropriately to help you get up, or trained to call security? Do they know our practices?
Right.
So that's been one of the things that's kind of been on my heart the last couple of weeks is the people that are not employed by Green Spring Home Support, what is their level of knowledge of how we operate as a community?
Right.
And I'm hopeful that maybe in the future there's some opportunities to draw those people out, and even if the residents don't want to change caregivers, maybe just provide them with some education of how to interact with us and integrate with us as a community instead of kind of hiding. You know, we want to let them know, okay, you've made a choice and this is your choice to make, but let's help make sure that it's safe for everybody.
Right. Well, I know in the past there's been a couple of outside aides who have come over and joined Green Spring staff. I mean, they were really, really good. And I see a couple of the outside aides now who I think are really good. And I would think it would be really beneficial to them and to us for them to join us.
We have, when we have to make the visitor badges, Beth Allman would make them, and she would constantly give out cards, like, have you thought about joining us? Have you thought about joining our team? And so she was a great, you know, sort of spokesperson for that little piece of our hiring process. So, you know, we do, when we see exceptional caregivers out in the community, if I have cards on me, I usually try to, like, hey, have you thought about it? You know, go online. And does it always work? No. Some people are very happy with the situation they have, and that's understandable. But, you know, we try when we see somebody that's just incredible with a resident.
Yeah, very, very good. With home health care, what is special about home health care that we can't get anywhere else or do anything with?
So with both services, the services come to you. And I think that's a great benefit. If, you know, with home support, you can be at any level of functional status and still have someone come directly to you. With home health, you do need to be homebound, but it takes that that anxiety away of how am I going to get to a doctor's office? How am I going to get to rehab? And, you know, on a personal level, I have talked about my grandmother several times, but, you know, she goes home from the rehab center to my aunt and uncle's house, who are not medical people. And trying to get her in the car over to rehab, and then by the time she's done with rehab, she's exhausted. So getting her back in the car and back in the house is difficult. So they've actually hired private duty people to help them with some of those pieces. Because she's not homebound. But when you are, it's such a benefit to have someone come to you. The other thing I think is wonderful about it is it teaches you in your own environment. You can go out if it's appropriate, but when you're really in need of someone to come to you, they teach you how to shower in your own shower. So you're dealing with your own handles, your own tools, your own back brush, whatever it is that you use. And I think that has a really big benefit when you're recovering. You know, you can always progress to outpatient, which will help you navigate the, you know, the world at large. But when you're worried about just, you know, navigating your apartment day to day, home health is just fantastic for that.
And with that, you send someone in initially, right, to assess the apartment?
We do. So we send, depending on what the doctor orders, a nurse or a physical therapist usually to start. And they will decide if the doctor hasn't ordered anything else, they'll look and see, do we need other services? And each discipline will send out, you know, nursing goes out, PT goes out, OT goes out, even speech therapy can go to the home, and decide if the services are needed and talk to the physicians, and then they will continue to see you, you know, weekly, bi-weekly. Either there's a certain frequency they'll work with you and the doctors to decide on. So, you get that home assessment, you get that shower,
Right.
personal care assessment, and the nurses go out and assess your ability to do things like administer medications or check your own blood pressure, rather than you having to get up, get out, get ready, go to the medical center, sit there. They can take away some of that and then communicate with your physicians for you when it's too hard to get out.
And Medicare pays for it.
They do, as long as you are homebound and you have an appropriate diagnosis, they pay for it.
Okay. Very good. You mentioned when you came in, before it came on camera, that you had a diagram of something.
I do. We, in home support, we always are talking about what hours we have available.
Right.
And so right now we are running a special to help fill up some of our hours. We are available right now between 10 a.m. and noon for
Okay.
2-hour service. So starting now, we're going to be putting cubbies in all the flyers with contact information and how to go
Flowers,
about.
well, cubbies. Okay.
Did I say cubbies in all the flyers? Flyers in the cubbies. I haven't had enough coffee this morning.
Make sure you're listening.
Flyers in all the cubbies with who to contact and how to make this happen. But the basis of it is book your 2-hour service between 10 and 12. And you can get that 2-hour service for $45 total
Oh, wow.
per 2 hours. The normal price is $58.
Yeah.
And there is a book by date, I want to say of the 22nd of November,
Okay.
and a use those visits date by the end of November.
All right.
We're just going to try this for a couple of weeks. We haven't done a promotion in a while and see what the response is, and then kind of reevaluate at the end of November and
Wonderful.
see if it's something we need to stop or continue or change. But we want to keep those aides busy.
Okay.
And
Right.
10 to 12 right now, we kind of have a little bit of downtime. So it's an opportunity to, offer something to the community and also keep our aides engaged.
Oh, it sounds great in regards to that. And a savings,
Yes, absolutely.
$13 savings.
And it's not just personal care either. It can be switching out your, goodness gracious, you need to switch it now, the summer to winter wardrobe if you need help switching that out. If you want to have someone help you decorate for the holidays. If you need to start addressing your Christmas cards. If you have arthritis and can't wrap presents. I mean, it's a lot of different things you could have them do. It doesn't have to be personal care.
Good. So we simply need to give you a call, right?
Give us a call in home support.
All right.
And we can help take care of it.
Sounds great. Well, we thank both of you for coming and for sharing all the information, and I hope everybody takes advantage of the promotion.
Yes, I hope so too. Give us a
You're
call.
welcome.
Very good.
Thank you.